my kitchen. Today, I'm excited to share with you 5 refreshing summer drinks. So I know that on a hot summer day, there's nothing quite as refreshing and delicious as a special cold drink. So today I'm giving you 5 ideas of what that might be this summer. All of these are caffeine free, so for any age, any stage of the day, and all of them are just so delicious. I'm excited to share these with you, and I'm also excited to let you know that today's video is actually in collaboration with my friend Skye from House and Home. And you guys, Skye is such an inspiration to me. So ever since I found her channel, I would say a couple months ago now, I have just loved her content. I just fell in love with her personality. She has an amazing style and actually owns an online shop called House and Home. And she shares a lot of room makeovers, seasonal decorating. So good. Like, she is so gifted in decorating. I think today she's actually sharing getting her porch ready for summer. So after you're done watching my video, make sure you head over to Skye's video, tell her I sent you, and I know you're going to love her content. All right, without further ado, let's get started on our first recipe. This is like the epitome of summer refreshing drinks, in my opinion. However, I do have a disclaimer. I think I threw out my paper where I wrote down all my measurements, so I think I remember, but I'm gonna taste it at the end just to make sure that we're still good to go if any adjustments need to be made. But we are gonna start off with juicing 2 lemons in here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my blender here. And then we're just gonna mix all these ingredients together. So I have my 2 lemons juiced here. Oh, put it on there, there we go. And then I have 2 cups of strawberries. We just picked these out of the garden, 2-3 days ago maybe. So they've been in the fridge long enough. They need to be frozen or used, but they'll work perfectly for this. So I'll still use those. And then I have a cup of sugar and then 2 cups of water. And then we're just gonna go ahead and blend this up really well, which I need my lid. Grab my lid. Okay, so I'm gonna let this go for a little while because I want this to get as well mixed as possible. If you like it to have a little bit of pulp, you can go ahead and just pour this into the jar, or you can strain it. I just have my great big one here, but it should still do the job. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this through to strain it. There's really not a lot of pulp, so you would not even have to do this. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in here. Now, if you wanna take this next level, add a couple sprigs of mint to your juice, and you can either put it in the cup. Oh, it smells so good. I just went and picked it. Amazing. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. If you can control yourself, refrain from drinking this until you've let this kind of marinate for a little bit, because the mint really just helps the flavor like pop. So I would highly recommend adding a couple mint leaves and just letting it sit a little bit before serving. But let's put this all together and see what it's like. I'm just gonna get maybe a lemon slice or 2 to garnish this. And we'll put a straw in. I just got these off Amazon. I'll link them below. Little glass straws. You guys, doesn't that look so good and refreshing for summer? Just look at that color. That is really, really good. If you try any of these recipes, let me know. Either send me an email, comment below, tag me on Instagram. Let me know you tried whichever recipes and how you like them. Cheers for drink number 1. Let's go to number 2. The good thing about all these recipes is they are crazy easy. Literally, like this one is just toss everything together. I'm gonna make something that might remind you of, like, say, a Dairy Queen Frosty. This is one of my favorite recipes. I used to make this for breakfast every morning, or some variation of this. What I'm gonna do is put in a cup of cottage cheese. No, you don't taste the cottage cheese later, but it makes it so nice and thick and creamy. Then I have 10 ice cubes and 1.5 cups of milk, which I'm using raw whole milk here from the farm. I have 3 tablespoons of peanut butter because our flavor of choice today is Reese's peanut butter cup. So good. Then I have 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, about 3 to 4 teaspoons of maple syrup, and about a teaspoon of vanilla. So all that's involved in this is blending it up. When I do this for breakfast, I also like to add a scoop or 2 of protein powder. I actually don't have any on hand right now, so I'm just gonna do it like this, but that's literally all there's to it. Let's blend it. A couple more ice cubes in to make it thicker. If you want it thicker, just add more ice cubes, and if you want it thinner, just add more milk. So I'm gonna add a little bit more ice cubes to get that nice thick consistency. I probably should have thrifted some cute little cups for this video, but here we are. Okay. Making a mess. All right, and then just for fun, we're gonna garnish this. Y'all know my favorite part of doing these food videos is garnishing, right? So there we go. And I'm just gonna cut a little bit of dark chocolate on here. Oh, and we're making a mess. And there we go. This is our healthy protein milkshake. So good and so refreshing, but you don't get that kind of like yuck feeling in your stomach after drinking it. So this is definitely a pleaser. And again, if you wanted sweeter, I feel like that's the biggest thing with drinks is some people like them really sweet, some really don't like them sweet. With the measurements I gave you for this one, it's not super sweet. So feel free to add some more maple syrup or honey or stevia or whatever you use, sugar. This one is definitely also a kid pleaser. Our third and final blender recipe. And then we have 2 that are not blender recipes. This one is actually kind of like a twist on the Starbucks pink drink. So what I'm gonna do is I have about a 3/4 cup of frozen strawberries and then about a 3/4 cup of fresh strawberries. We're gonna put those in the blender. I have a cup of water and then 2 tablespoons of sugar, and this is freeze-dried strawberry powder. Hang on, let me grab the bag for you. This is what it looks like, and you can just get it off of Amazon. I'll link it down below. It's kind of expensive. I think that bag was $19 or so, but obviously it lasts quite a while, but it's just freeze-dried strawberries. So anyway, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of that. I'm actually really intrigued by freeze drying right now. I would love to get a freeze dryer, but what I'm learning from it is so fascinating. The food that you freeze dry actually keeps its nutrients and stuff better than when you can or freeze or those kinds of things, dehydrate. I'm not gonna go on a whole rant about that, but this reminded me of that. Also, it keeps the color, so that's exciting. This should be a nice bright pink drink. Okay, now back on track. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Woo. And then we're gonna blend this up. It's ready for the fun part. I'm so excited about this. I have a couple pieces of ice and a couple of frozen strawberries. I'm just gonna put those all in here. And then I'm gonna fill my cup about half full of this strawberry mixture. And then the other half is gonna be this mixture. This is 3/4 cup whole milk and then 1/4 cup of just heavy cream because, I mean, why not? It's a treat after all. Here goes. Oh my goodness, so fun. And then to top it, I'm just going to froth a little milk. Here's what this one looks like. Now, I'm gonna take a little break. Motherhood is calling. We have a blowout on our hands, and then I do need to get dinner going. So I'm gonna be back tomorrow with the last two. All right, it's the next day now, and I'm back with the last two recipes. We're gonna start off with this iced peach tea latte. You guys, tea lattes are my favorite. I love them hot when it's cold outside, but then I tried them cold, like an iced tea latte in the summer one time, and I was sold. So it's one of my favorites now. To start off with, I am just going to put 4 tea bags inside of my pitcher here, and I'm just using this decaf ginger peach tea. So I'm gonna put 4 of these in, 2, 3, 4, okay. Obviously this is just, I mean, duh, it's how you make tea. And I have 4 cups of hot water here. I'll put the lid on and just let it steep for a couple minutes. Okay, it's a couple minutes later now, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a cup of sugar to this. When I'm in a rush, I might just fill my cup with ice. Just make sure that you're not using a glass cup then, and pour it over hot and it'll cool pretty quickly. Or my preferred way is just to let this sit in the fridge for a couple hours and then it's cold. I'm gonna take my tea bags out since I don't want it to get bitter. And then I'll pop this in the fridge and let it cool. All right, the tea is nice and cool now. I actually just popped it in the freezer to be even quicker. So we are ready to roll. And then I have just a little bit, maybe like 1/4 cup of milk here. I'm gonna put about, I don't know, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla in. We're gonna make a little vanilla cold foam to put on top. And that's our finished peach tea. And then for my last recipe, this is really super easy. I was even debating on, should I even put this one in here or not? But it's just traditional mint tea, garden tea, whatever you might call the tea, summer tea. This is definitely one that gets used so often around here. It's so refreshing. We have a ton of mint just growing around the farm here, and actually have a bunch of it in a bed right next to my to my vegetable garden. We love this stuff, and just smells so good. It's so straightforward to make. I mean, you just make tea. But I wanted to show you, in case you don't already know, how you can actually make this as a concentrate, and then it's really handy to just have in the fridge and ready for whenever you want to make some fresh tea. Instead of like we're doing with our peach tea now, you steep it and then you have to let it cool, and then like finally it's ready. If you make the concentrate ahead of time, then it's so easy to just pour a pitcher when you have company, or if you just need a cold drink on a hot day or something like that. So we'll be making the concentrate today, and I hope that helps you out. If everybody already knew this, I'm sorry, then it was just a waste of time. But I'm gonna go ahead and start by rinsing my tea leaves, and then I'll just put that in my pot here. And this is, I would say, about probably 2-ish cups of tea leaves. And then we're gonna add 4 cups of water to this and 2 cups of sugar. And then I'll just put it on the stove. And the main thing is, again, you don't want it boiling with the tea leaves in it, or else it'll get bitter. Something my mom taught me, and she is the tea pro. Up. So I have my mint leaves here, which have been steeping now for a while. I'm just gonna take these out, and then we'll pour it into a little jar. I could have totally steeped this a little longer. This isn't super strong, but this is how I would store it in the fridge then. And then when you're ready to use it, you can just mix it with 1 part this and 3 parts water and ice, and stir it together and you're good to go. So I hope those recipes were helpful for you. I hope you enjoy some of them this summer. If you do, make sure to let me know. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to go check out Skye's video, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.